first time I heard about the existence of Sealand was through the anime Hetalia Axis Powers.
Hello, I'm Sealand, the world's smallest nation.
If you haven't seen the anime, then essentially they'll take the countries, they personify them into one person, all the negative and positive stereotypes of the country into that one person, and then they retell history using individual people rather than armies. First things first, what is Sealand?
I may be small, but I've got a big heart.
Sealand was first built in World War II as an illegal fortress by the British Army in order to protect the British coast from German invaders. It is 7 nautical miles away from the British coast, which therefore means that it is technically in international waters, because that is over double the amount of nautical miles for it to be in the space of Britain. This fortress, among with some others, were actually left abandoned in the 1950s, despite the fact that they were meant to be torn down, but they weren't. They were just left deserted and abandoned. So, in the 1960s, a man called Roy Bates decided he was going to run a pirate radio from a different fortress. It was considered a pirate station because it didn't go by the very strict BBC regulations of radio. However, because the fortresses were outside of British waters, technically they didn't have to abide by the rules. Smart thinking on Roy's side. Now, this current fort that he had, he completely lost. And so he was like, okay, I'll just move to another one. However, his lawyers advised him to not just do the same thing in case that would be taken away. So instead, he decided to claim it as the Principality of Sealand. What a guy. The reason he was allowed to do this is because it was part of Terra Nullius? I don't know how you pronounce that, but essentially it translates to nobody's land. It is nobody's land, therefore anybody can claim it, right? So on the 2nd of October in 1967, the Principality of Sealand was born. Da, 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 da. He also proclaimed that his wife was the princess and that he was the prince. You don't need to marry into the royal family. Just go claim a fort. Now you're a princess. So later on, people were taking down all the other forts, demolishing them all, getting rid of all the towers around it, and they were threatened. They had demolishers going, ha, we're gonna take you down next. And so Roy, my man, he shot at them and they ran away. However, he was then taken by the UK courts because obviously the UK firearms law was not abiding that. However, the court deemed that they weren't under jurisdiction to punish him because he was no longer in British waters, so the rules didn't abide by him. This man is a genius. Despite the fact that they call themselves the world's smallest country,
The world's smallest nation.
they are not deemed as a country by anyone. However, they have had sort of acknowledgement from a couple of people, including the ambassador of Germany just popping by, and also a little letter from, I'm gonna butcher this name, it's a French president, and I'm gonna say Georges Pompidou. I had to do a French accent for a voiceover yesterday, and it ain't good, is it? But the president of France was like, oh, good luck to the new state. However, it is not acknowledged as a state or a country, unlike what they want you to believe.
And since I'm a country, I'll be there too.
Now, there are 3 things that must make up a territory of state. First, a population. Now, as of 2002, the population of Sealand was 27 people. It has a population, therefore that fits, right? It also must have a government, and they do act as a government of sorts. They can use firearms there, clearly. They have royalty there. They probably have other rules. I didn't look into it that much. One thing that is a bit iffy with Sealand is territory, because they need a solid territory. It has to have the condition of a permanent place rather than a floating surface, and they need to provide evidence that they are a permanent state, which is why that's a little bit debated, and they are still not officially acknowledged as a state. Additionally, they do not have any territorial sea of their own. I don't really understand that bit, but they're not a state. Just accept that they are not a state. However, they are a principality. One of my other favourite things is that they have a national anthem. They don't sing, which I think is quite sad, because I feel like every national anthem deserves some sort of lyrics. And mate, if you are whoever the current prince and princess are, I will write you some lyrics to play with your national anthem. That is a banger, and I will contribute happily. Just hit me up, I'll do it for you. So they have a national anthem, which is iconic, but there are several things that you can do. You can become, for a very small fee, up to a couple of £100, you can become anything between a duke, a duchess, a countess, a lord, a lady, a sir, a dame, a knightship. You can be a knight. You can get yourself a personalised Sealand email address. I kind of want it. It's dumb, but I kind of want it. I want someone to look at my email address and be like, why is it heathervictoria.walker@sealand.com? That's a break in the ice kind of moment, isn't it? You can also get yourself a Sealand identification card. Also a great icebreaker. I don't have a regular passport. No. I have a Sealand one. You can own a piece of Sealand territory. So I just get like a square inch of a bit of port, and it's like a bit of concrete and steel, and it's like, that's my bit of concrete and steel, you know? Because you know what? I'd take it. Now, if you weren't believing me when I said that they have a government, they have a constitution. And you can get yourself a copy of that constitution. Sealand, if you are watching this, please let me come visit. I wanna see it. I wanna come and chill in your kitchen and bake with you on a port near Essex. As I am filming on the 3rd of September 2020, yesterday was their 53rd anniversary. And you know what I say? Make them a country!